A very warm welcome to everyone present here. I, Ridhima Kapoor, is here to launch a book on behalf of Adhyan Books. The book titled is Enigma, The Untold Story of Women's Empowerment, authored by none other than Juthika Dcruz. So I would like to a quickly yes in the chat box so that we can see that you all can see me and you all can hear me. Please type yes in the chat box if you all can see me and you can all hear me. Please type yes in the chat box if you can see me and if you can hear me so that we can quickly start the event. Thank you. As I can see yes pouring in. Let's invite none other than the author herself, Miss Juthika Dcruz. Juthika, please join us. So let's invite Juthika Dcruz, the author herself. Juthika, if you can hear me, please join us. I would request Juthika to please join us.
This is not Juthika though. This is not Juthika. I just want to ensure everybody gets it right. I am Nitin Soni and on behalf of Adhyan Books, I just am waiting just like Ridhima for the author to join us for this book launch. Welcome everyone. Welcome Ridhima. Glad to have you here and glad to have everybody here. And since we have started shortly, I guess you can remove that message from the screen, Ridhima, that says we are starting shortly. So we have already started. And yes, thank you so very much. Now, please quickly, I'm sure Juthika would be excited. Give her a call, help her, see if she can join us.
Yes.
See if she can join us. Yeah, and while you do, I want to quickly engage the participants here. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. This is Nitin Soni, and I want to welcome you. There you go. There you go. There you go. The beautiful lady is here. Yes, Ridhima.
Yes. So, Juthika, how do you feel that your book is live on Amazon? How do you feel?
I have butterflies in my stomach. I am so excited. I have been on pin's end since morning. I mean, it's a dream come true, which I had laid the foundation of it maybe 5 years ago. And it's finally happening. So I can't describe it. I'm on pin's end.
I would request Juthika to please join us.
I can hear some.
This is not Juthika though. This is just ensure Juthika and everybody that in none of your windows the same thing is open. Juthika, you also ensure that, and आप भी ensure करें that it is not reflecting there in any of the windows. Welcome everyone. Otherwise, we'll hear ourselves. To have you here and glad to have everybody here. And then you'll have to check it at your end, Juthika. That message from none of your windows should have the YouTube thing live.
I think you have opened.
Okay.
Yes.
It is much better now. She wanted to see. She wanted to see herself on YouTube. Juthika, let me ask her something. Juthika,
Hanji.
Aren't you nervous? Aren't you nervous? Aren't you like?
You can see it. You can see it. I don't know. I don't even have a word nervous is too small a word.
Your well-wishers, your people who love you are here. They are watching us live right now, Juthika. They are applauding for you. They are encouraging you. They are pouring in their love in the chat box, and I can already see that they are super excited. Yeah. and I'm excited right now to be in the company of two most beautiful ladies that I know. So thank you very much for making this happen, Ridhima. Thank you very much for making this happen.
So I think the credit goes to the author. Juthika, would you like to show us the book?
The book. Where is it?
Book है readers के पास. book है
1 minute.
बुक है रीडर्स के पास, रिधिमा. ऑथर के पास नहीं. ऑथर के हाथ से किताब दूर निकल चुकी है. अब तो रीडर्स के हाथ में है. सो रीडर्स के हाथ से किताब लेनी पड़ेगी और फिर दिखानी पड़ेगी. तो इसमें तो समय लगेगा, which makes sense. And in the meantime, I want to quickly ask this question to you, Ridhima. आपने पूरा का पूरा इस प्रोसेस में जुतिका के साथ काम किया है. हाँ, जुतिका, I'm asking a question. Yeah, there you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go.
I have read
Ridhima,
it so many times that I'm like, don't want to read you again.
रिधिमा, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि आपने जुतिका के साथ काम किया इस पूरे प्रोसेस में. It's been months that you've been associated with her. और आप लोगों की chat, when I sometimes refer, ऐसा लगता नहीं है कि कोई दो प्रोफेशनल्स आपस में कम्युनिकेट करता है. ऐसा लगता है कि कोई बचपन की दो दोस्त हैं जो आपस में कम्युनिकेशन चल रहा है, आपस में बातचीत चल रही है. जुतिका, ये कनेक्ट कब डेवलप हो गया टीम के साथ इतना जबरदस्त?
आपकी टीम ही इतनी बढ़िया है, राइट फ्रॉम देबालिक टू गंगा टू रिधिमा and so many others. I have been communicating with them on and off, and every time I've communicated with them, it has never been ki like, ma'am aapko kabhi dekha nahi hai, ma'am aap kaun ho, or anything like that. It has always been, yes ma'am, we are doing this, we are working on it, we are on it. And it has been such a wonderful journey with all of you. And hats off to you, Nitin, for keeping it all together. I must say that, like, every time I've asked a question, whether it has been after 6 months or after a year, your team has promptly replied to me and held my hand through the entire journey. Right?
Which is so good to hear right now, especially when we are live.
Right.
Jutika, tell us a little bit about the book.
The book. What do I say? The book is about empowerment. I know the title says women's empowerment. Okay. But while I was writing the book, what happened is, like, halfway through the book, I realized that something is wrong. Like, women's empowerment, yes, I felt very strongly about it, the way it is happening in the past century or whatever. So I felt there had to be a new approach to women's empowerment. But while I was writing it, I realized that men are just as disempowered as the women. In fact, perhaps more. And the compassion I developed for the men during writing the book was, like, a surprise to me as well. And that's how I progressed with the book, that it had to be a book promoting empowerment, not just for women, but for men also. Yeah.
On behalf of the all the men's out there, it's a folded hand. Thank you so much. Somebody, after all the women empowerment thing, is now giving some thought and energy to the men empowerment as well. लेकिन जुतिका, cover पे तो ऐसा नहीं लिखा. The subtitle of the book says women empowerment. आप कह रहे हो men empowerment.
Well, you got to catch eyeballs, right? When you put out a book over there, you got to catch eyeballs. So the picture and the women's empowerment is the catchy part of the whole ball game of marketing.
Absolutely.
Women's empowerment. आधे से ज़्यादा लोग तो सोचते कि, like, what is this? Like, I'm not interested. But when you say, like, untold secrets about women's empowerment, and then you talk about men's empowerment also, well, that does create a kind of curiosity. Like, why is she talking about women's empowerment and then deflecting to men's empowerment? ये चल क्या रहा है?
Interesting. Or Renuka, who is watching us right now,
She's a friend of mine. Yes.
I am sure, because she's saying true men's empowerment is also covered in the book. Or Pratap Singh ji keh rahe, folded hand, thanks Juthika. So this is amazing. Ridhima, I'm sure you have a lot of questions for Juthika.
Yes. So let's start with some questions. So, Jutika, I would like to ask why this topic? Why this book?
Uh, do you read the newspapers? Do
Yes.
you watch crime serials? Yeah.
Yes.
And do you watch everything? Do you feel that angst about the whole social setup that is going on, right? So
Correct.
everybody does feel that. And everybody sits in their drawing room saying, like, you should have done this, they should have done this, and they should have done that. Well, somebody has to do something, right? So if you're feeling the angst and you feel that somebody should do something, why not you yourself? So that is why I was like, okay, maybe I cannot go out there in the field and join all the, like, rallies or whatever at all, because that's not me. But what I can do is I can write. My linguistic skills are absolutely par excellence. I know that. So, Nitin, you confirmed that to me, right? When I say shared my first few chapters with you.
For sure. Yes, absolutely. I did.
So I dare say that, like, at the risk of sounding cocky, no pun intended, I would say, like, yes, my linguistic skills are good. So I thought, why not write? And that is how I embarked on writing a book about changing the mindset that brings on all that is happening in society. Because just carrying on rallies and lighting candles doesn't really help. You have to hack the root cause of it, strike over there. And the root cause is the mindset of people. And if you can make even a small dent, if I can make even a small dent in that mindset, even if I can change one person with my book, I will feel that, yes, I've done my bit on this planet to make it a better world.
Juthika, in this book, you talked about women empowerment. You talked about a lot of things, but just want to ask this from somebody who has not read the book yet. Are you also talking about solutions? What to do? This is what's happening. This is the problem. This is the issue. This is the hairs we need to pay our attention to, and this is how we can tackle this. This is what needs to be done. So, just want to understand how far has this book gone in talking about the women empowerment thing.
Absolutely. I get where you're coming from, Nitin, because the book is beginning to create that dent that I talked about. Okay. So, unless and until you are aware that there is a problem, you cannot really arrive at any kind of solution. First, you have to, when you're looking for solutions, when you're looking for a way out, first you need to recognize the problem. And this book does that, allows the reader to recognize the problem, acknowledge that there is a problem, okay, and there is a need to change it. And I've done extensive research on the topics that I already knew about, but I needed scientific proof. And that's what I found in my research by writing this book. And after having written it, I was like, okay, this is a lot of information for anybody to take in. So this is creating an awareness, and the solutions. Yes, there are so many. Well, they will come in the second and the third and the fourth book.
Indeed, absolutely, absolutely,
In fact, it's
and
already ready.
yeah.
And I'm just waiting for you to give me the green signal to launch my.
Of course, always, always. And Jyotika, what has been the response of the first few lot of readers who have got their hands on the book? क्या feedback है? कैसा response आ रहा है?
Well, a lot of them have reported that we need to read it slowly and steadily, absorb what is written in that, and understand. In fact, Renuka, who has just commented a little while earlier, she said, I'm reading it like a textbook. She's an academician coming from a scholastic background. So she is reading the book in textbook form. So you can imagine, like, there is so much information there to absorb, digest, and turn your mind, wrap your mind around. So, yeah.
You know, when I was reading this book, Juthika, and I'll be very honest with you, in fact, the first draft that you shared with me back then, you wanted me to give you my feedback. I was awestruck. I was like, man, if there's one person that I know who can do justice to this topic, it's Juthika. You are bindas. You have experienced life very closely, and you've seen all the flavors of being a woman in India. And I guess coming from you through you, you just did an incredible job there, and we are all very, very thankful to you. And once again, many congratulations to you, Juthika, for giving this book to the world.
Thank you, Nitin, for trusting me on this. Yeah.
Yes, Ridhima.
For the first conversation, when I sent you the chapters and you said, I asked you on a phone call, I said, like, what do you feel? In Hindi, I asked you, kaisa laga? And you were like, you just wouldn't respond. You are a man who talks and talks and talks. I mean, like, people can listen to you mesmerized, and you wouldn't say anything when I asked you. I had to repeat my question, Nitin, kaisa laga? And you were like, after a 2-minute silence, "Chut."
It's all correct.
I'm like, oh my goodness, did I do something wrong or did I do something totally right?
It was outstanding. It was outstanding, and I was, as I said, awestruck. In fact, when I was on that call with you, मुझे क्या याद आ रहा था मैं बताता हूँ. Ridhima, I'm sure you must be feeling कि ये क्या दो दोस्त आपस में बातचीत करना शुरू हो गए. But that's true. मुझे याद है, Juthika, when we met in Mumbai, you were like somebody who was sitting there when we did that program on the book writing stuff. You were sitting there till the very end. You were saying करके जाऊंगी नितिन, आज मैं इस commitment को करके जाऊंगी that I need to write a book and I need to do it. If not now, then when? I've been keeping this in my heart for a long time. You kept sitting there. You kept figuring out how to do it, and eventually I still remember that was just amazing. Now the program ended, everybody started leaving. You just stayed there, trying to figure out to commit yourself. And look at that. This is where we are. This is what we were destined to do, Juthika. Do a book launch event finally of your maiden book, is Enigma, which is amazing. So once again, Ridhima, she's incredible. और ऐसे बहुत सारे book launch होंगे जुतिका के साथ, ये पक्की बात है. हाँ जी Ridhima.
So as I was reading the book, going through the book. So I saw that the protagonist has a name, Lakshmi. All characters have a name, but the husband do not have a name. So
husband के नाम थोड़ी होते हैं. Husband क्या कैसा सवाल पूछ रही
है? ऐसी बात नहीं है. Husband के नाम नहीं होते. ऐसी बात नहीं है. The thing is, okay. So what's your question?
So why is it so? So all the characters have a name. The protagonist has a name. Why does the husband does not have a name?
The husband doesn't have.
Husband is this word in itself conveys everything, Ridhima.
उसी में सब आ गया. Actually, yes. The thing is, it's not about a person. Okay, it's not about the husband of Lakshmi. Okay, it is about every man. The husband is only representing the men in the society. Okay, so giving the husband a name would be putting a blame on that person, and I did not want to do that. That was not my intention. I wanted just a figurehead which would represent the male society, the mindset of the patriarchal. That is why he doesn't have a name. And if you want to know why Lakshmi has a name, it is because you have to have some realistic person to connect with the story. So Lakshmi is the realistic aspect. Unless and until you connect with a person, unless and until you connect with a person's emotions, you don't really understand what is going on. So that's why she has a name, and he could be anybody. She could have married anyone for that matter. Okay? And probably it would have been the same story in her life. So it's not him. It's generic.
It's generic. Juthika, इसी से associated एक और thing which is there in my mind, which is you in this book, you've talked a lot about love. और पढ़ने पे ऐसा लग रहा है कि predominantly ये एक एक feminine या एक female एक trait है to love, to express love.
Yeah.
भाई ऐसा do you really think so? We also love. और अगर हीर हुई है तो रांझा भी हुए, है ना? तो ये मैं आपसे पूछना चाहता हूँ कि ये do you think men don't love the way the women do, or is it something? I want just to want to get your piece of brain on this.
When did you feel love for the first time, Nitin?
When I was in the company of a woman, my mother.
Mother, you felt devotion towards her. You felt duty bound towards her. वो उमड़ के जो आता है, the surges of love, where you feel कि like, oh my God, this is love. When did you feel that?
When I saw her, when I started spending time with her.
With who?
The female who is waiting for me outside the room, so that the one just even gets over.
That's right. You feel love when you're in the company of a woman. Okay? Or for that matter, if we talk about gay people, lesbian people, men will feel love in the company of another person who is very feminine. Okay? So, yes, love is a feminine character because a woman feels love, she is love. And that's why she brings out that emotion in another person. So be it a mother, be it your wife, be it your girlfriend, or be it your mistress, she brings out that emotion in you. So don't you think it's a feminine character? Don't you think it's a feminine?
Going deep in it right now, yeah.
A man, for that matter, will bring out a very, practical aspect of a person. The strength, the courage, the confidence. But a woman is soft. She will bring out that quality in you. She will make you feel love.
So it's there in a man.
It's there in men. It's there in men.
It's there in men.
Society has not allowed men to express love, to feel love, to be love. And a woman teaches a man to love.
And I can feel that right now in the company of two beautiful ladies here, which is amazing. Well,
love equally well.
Indeed.
Just that they need to get in touch with their softer side.
Very nicely said, Juthika. Very nicely said. Ridhima.
So I was going through the books. At page number 125, you had mentioned that impulsiveness is a feminine trait, whereas common sense is a man's trait. So do you think women do not have common sense?
Oh my goodness. Okay. So what is common sense? A, B, C, D. 1, 2, 3, 4. B will come after A. C will come after B. D will come after C. That is common sense. 1, 2, 3, a sequence. It will happen. That is common sense. Yes, 2 will come after 1. 3 will come after. So it's a sequential pattern which leads to a objective, to a goal. Right? So now, honestly, common sense is not that very common. Okay? We say common sense. So anything that is sequential, anything that leads sequentially to a goal is common sense. It's practicality. And men think in practical terms. Okay? They think in sequential terms. They think in structural pattern. But women are like nature. Okay? Have you seen nature, the trees and the plants and everything in nature? Is it predictable? Is there any sequence to it? Nature grows wild. Everywhere, anywhere, it just grows wild. A woman is wild. Of course, patriarchy has tamed her and suppressed and made her contain her wildness. But yes, a woman is wild. She grows this way, that way, everywhere. She doesn't grow in a sequence. Yes, she needs to understand that sometimes she needs to follow a pattern. Sometimes she needs to be practical. She cannot be overly emotional and wild all the time. There are times when situations and circumstances call for a very practical approach, for a contained approach, not go haywire everywhere. So, yeah, women get overly emotional and then the common sense is lost. But yes, when she contains herself, when she follows a pattern, she comes from a very individual sense. Common sense is not for women because she comes from a sixth sense, she comes from a very individual sense. I'll explain if we have time, I can explain this with an example. I went to the salon today, okay, and I got a facial done, and I didn't do anything about my hands, but I got a pedicure done. Now I'm going to be here in camera with just this much. Are my feet going to be seen? No. But I got a pedicure. Men will not understand this. It's like, how illogical and stupid. Doesn't she have common sense? Her hands are going to be seen. She should have, like, got her nails done and blah, blah, blah. Like, who's going to see her feet? But women, I look at you and tell me, do you understand me? Right? Because I'm putting my best foot forward. I need to feel good about myself today. It's not about you, he, them, or anybody else. It's about me. I need to feel good about myself. That is my individual sense. Common sense can go take a walk. You understand? Common sense says she should have done a manicure, not a pedicure. But I have my individual sense. I need to feel good. And what makes me feel good? That my feet are nice and clean. There's been a lot of house renovation going on. And I have been walking in dusty house all along. And I wanted my feet to feel good. Because today I'm embarking on a journey where I need to put my best foot forward. And getting a pedicure makes me feel good. That's my individual sense. That's my sixth sense.
That's incredible. Ridhima, are you saying me too? Are you saying me too? True, Juthika, thank you. By the way, Juthika, when I look back now, मुझे बहुत सारी चीजें समझ आ रही है. Now, a lot of things that I observe back in home, it's making sense to me now.
Thank you,
It's
thank you, thank you for saying that. Thank
now
you so much for saying
yeah,
that.
it's making sense to me कि अच्छा इसके पीछे common इसके पीछे कुछ और sense है.
Not the common sense.
From a common sense. Well, she comes from
Yeah, not this sequential thing that how men generally would think, but I think you thank you for giving that example. Thank you for giving that example because now it makes sense to me. I'm able to relate to a lot of things when you said that, which is amazing, Juthika.
Thank you.
And here is something that I want to add and I want to ask you. Do you think men will be able to understand women better if they read this book?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
They will.
So they will, yeah. So all the husbands listening to us,
One-sided story. It's not
Yeah.
a one-sided story. I have touched upon the aspects where men have felt disempowered, for lack of a better word, emasculated, and suppressed. Yes, they have been suppressed for very, very long. And
yeah,
when somebody resonates with your pain, with your grief, and touches upon that aspect of you which nobody else has, you feel validated. And I hope the men will feel validated when they read the book. And then they will come more from a place of compassion and understanding and collaboration with women instead of being in constantly in competition.
which is amazing. See, that's I guess the USP of the book, Jyotika. It's not one-sided. It's not lopsided. Just the women aspect of things. I think that's what makes this book unique, and I want everybody to listen to this when I'm saying it. It's not a lopsided, one-sided women empowerment book. It's the it's the latest thought on women on this word empowerment rather. maybe beyond this, towards any biasness towards any gender. It's about empowerment. It's about understanding men, women, both. And I encourage everybody who's listening to us right now to grab a copy of this book, Enigma. You will thank me later when you read the book, because finally, here is a book that you can read, your partner can read, you can gift this book to your partner. Husband can give it to the wife, and wife can give it to the husband. So both of them gifting the same thing on their anniversary to each other, and that comes out to be Enigma, which is going to be amazing. Well, I highly encourage everybody to read this book, because when you spend time with this book, and don't just go through it like in one go, take your time, take it easy, understand, relax, understand what the book is about, understand the expression, the depth of the book. Juthika has taken months. How much time, Juthika, have you taken this to complete this book? How much time you've, yeah, I know, tell me.
You really want me to tell this on camera?
Of course, because that will put a stamp on the fact that it's not a book which is written overnight. It is not just you sit and you just come up with a book. You've poured in your years of experience, research, you've experienced a lot of things very closely, and then you've eventually penned them down. And I'm sure when you were writing this book, Juthika, there must have been a lot of emotional moments for you. Yes or no? It's not easy. I know when I work with authors, it's not easy. When you're expressing yourself, sometimes you see tears rolling out of your eyes straight away on your cheeks, and you're like, ye kya ho raha hai? It's nothing but when you are going deep inside you, you're touching that emotion, bringing that out. I want to hear from you, Juthika.
Nitin, I met you first time 5 years ago. 5 years ago. And meeting you made me decide that yes, I'm writing a book. I had 10 or 15 topics in my head, because you are a champion of like writing book in 21 days. So I had 10 or 15 topics. Yes, I did. But then something you said struck me. Said, write something that moves you. And I was like, okay, these are all technical topics. I can write about them. But what really moves me is like the injustice, the suppression of like, and the whole ball game between man and woman, and like, all that. So I was like, okay, let me write about this. But then I thought, like, arey, ye to bahut boring hoga. Like, it's going to be a very boring topic. So then I decided to add little anecdotes in every chapter to make it more like, entertaining for that matter. As I was writing it, I finished writing in a year. In a year, I finished writing.
I see.
But I had to rewrite it and rewrite it and rewrite it, because, like I said in the beginning, it was one-sided. I started with women's empowerment, and halfway down, I was like, what are you doing? You are creating more angst. You are creating like, more hatred. And this is not what you want. This is not what your intention is. So I wrote it again. I had to take the you statements out of it so that there's no blame game happening.
Yeah.
And then I had to take out my emotional charge from all the statements, because even when you are watching the news, when you're watching even a match, you get emotionally involved in the whole process, right?
True.
Oh no, this had to be done. Oh no, that had to be done, right? There's that emotional charge, and you express it ad hoc. You just express it. It's an impulsive response, and that's how the book was written in the beginning. But that creates a lot of wrong impression in the reader's mind. It creates a lot of angst and a lot of how do you say, not a very good feeling in the reader, and I didn't want that. So I had to remove my emotional charge in all those statements, make it very economous. So yeah, that took another couple of rewritings of the book, and moreover, yeah, then I had to decide, should I, shouldn't I publish the book? Will it be acceptable? Will it be rejected? Is it worth putting out there? So many ifs and buts. But like I said, like Team Adyan and you stood by me and kept telling me, like, yes, it's good enough to go out there.
It is. No doubt about that, Juthika.
And well, it just happened now.
And how do you feel now? Do you feel lighter than how you would feel before when this entire thing was in you? And this, when I said write something which moves you, you have finally written this book. You have given it to the world. We are presenting it to the world right now, and we are launching this. Do you feel lighter? Do you
I,
feel relaxed?
I do. I do.
Yeah,
I'm like not going to die with a regret in my head or in my
yeah,
mind or in my heart.
yeah.
So yeah.
Very rightly said. Very rightly said. And I want to encourage everybody who's listening to us. You all have a story in you. You all have a story in you. You have some experiences, something that you can give to the world. Pandemic ने एक बात तो सिखा दी भाई, life is unpredictable. Wave कोई भी हो सकती है. It could be first, it could be second, it could be third. आप किस wave के हत्थे चढ़ते हो वो अलग बात है. But bottom line is it's unpredictable. So move fast, live full, and die empty. That's my suggestion. So I encourage everybody to give something to the world, just like Juthika has done with this book, which is pretty amazing. Ridhima.
So the next question would be like, I have seen you writing in the book, like in the chapter 5, that about false equality. So do you think women are equal to men?
False, farcical equality. Yeah, we have the feminist movement has been striving for equality with men, equality with men, equality with men. That is not possible. Physically, देख लो कितना difference है. Look at the physicality. We are different from men. Our mentality is different from men. Our emotional build up, our psychological makeup is different from men. You need to understand is like men are brilliant, women are brilliant, both in their own way. And both bring to the table unique qualities that are very unique to them. Okay. So when these qualities come together, practicality and artistry, that's when beauty is formed. Okay, when the sun comes up in the morning, okay, it comes up every day, every day. So that's the masculine aspect of it, like sequential, disciplined, structured. Every 12 hours, 24 hours, what is it? 12 hours? Where the sun comes up? No, whatever. I'm bad at math. But what I'm trying to say is like there's a sequence, there's a structure, it comes up. But is every morning the same as before, the previous day or the day before? No, it is unique. The glow is different, the sky is colored in a very different manner, and every morning has a different hue, a different color, a different glow to it. Can you see? There's a masculine and feminine blend, and that's what makes every sunrise, for that matter, sunset, beautiful. If the sun was to come up every day in the same color, in the same, like, sky, hue, and all, wouldn't it be boring? So, yeah, there's a feminine aspect, the artistry behind creation. That's a feminine aspect. And the discipline of every day happening is the masculine aspect. And both are unique in their own way. Both are important.
Indeed, absolutely. And this is what Pulkit is saying. And I want to bring in participants here, friends. All of you are watching us live on YouTube. Why don't you join the discussion and ask your questions in the chat box? Why don't you, become a part of this conversation? Type in something. If you want us to pick your statements, your comments, your questions up, maybe you want to ask something to the author, maybe you want to ask something to Ridhima or me, please feel free to put that in the chat box and we'll be very happy to take it up right here, right now. And Pulkit is saying, Juthika, in Sanatan Dharma, men are referred to as Purush and women are referred to as Prakriti.
Absolutely.
It is the balance of Purush and Prakriti which is operating in the universe. I think very beautifully said. There you go. A flying kiss on the way for you, Pulkit, from none other than the author herself. Pretty amazing. Yes, Ridhima. You are on mute, my friend. Looks like you're on mute.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
There's a message from my sister here. She says, "Thank you, Nitin and Ridhima, for walking with Juthika on her journey and making her dream come true." Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
To you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
Ridhima.
So you are saying that अभी हमने बात किया कि there are two creations on this earth, men and women. So how do you think the LGBTQ plus community fit into this equation?
The LGBT community is the most beautiful part of humanity. Men are men, women are women. But the LGBT community blends both the masculine and the feminine and presents it with courage, with love, with compassion. And that is what we need to understand. Like I explained about the masculine and the feminine coming together with their uniqueness and creating beauty. The LGBT community is the beauty. They represent Ardhanareshwar, half man and half woman, the best qualities of a woman and the best qualities of a man put together. How beautiful is that? A very balanced kind of a human being. They have been coming forth more openly to teach humanity that just being a man or just being a woman doesn't really serve any higher purpose or good for anyone. You have to blend the two qualities. You have to blend the masculine and feminine. Everybody has that within themselves. And they are representing that. How beautiful is
Indeed, no doubt about it. And very nicely you put it, Juthika. Very, I think, an incredible way of.
that? I mean, a lot of people say it's unnatural. But what's unnatural is like you rejecting your feminine side. I mean, men rejecting their feminine side. What's unnatural is the women rejecting their masculine side and being at loggerheads with each other. Why not just accept both? Blend, like I said earlier, collaboration, not competition. And the LGBT community is all about collaborating both the energies. So beautiful. We got to respect them. Hats off to them.
Indeed, 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 absolutely. Ananya Dcruz is saying, so proud of you, ma.
That's
इनसे
my
आपने
daughter.
हमारा introduction नहीं करवाया. Who is she?
My daughter.
She's your daughter. How old is she?
She is 20. She'll be
She's
20,
20.
in this month. Yeah.
Okay, so did she also was she also a part of? Well, yeah, Ananya there. So was she also a part of this process of writing the book, Juthika? Did she give you feedback, read the book? What was she involved in the process with you?
My daughters, Jessica and Ananya, both have been a huge part of my writing the book. They have been my best critics and they have been my best supporters. Every time I wrote a chapter, I shared it with them and they were like, "Ma, this is mind blowing."
Wow.
They also pointed out things about what was not right, what was wrong, or so on and so forth. And yes, after a year, they got bored. "Ma, enough, just publish it now." And they were like, I'm sure they always thought afterwards, like, is she ever going to publish this? What's
True.
wrong with her? Like, why is she not putting this out there? She wrote it fine, but does she have the guts to put it out there? Yes. So, but yeah, they supported me throughout. And yeah,
Beautiful.
I have no
Thank
express my
Yeah.
gratitude to them. Yes.
Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Ananya. And thank you, Juthika, for giving this book to us. Juthika, I'm sure a lot of people must be inspired, in awe of your understanding of, of men, women, and their emotions and all of that. So I'm sure there would be a lot of people who would be listening to us right now, may be interested in getting in touch with you, reaching out to you. So just want to ask you, like, do you help people with coaching, with some sort of If people are interested to talk to you about their issues, about anything, what do you do? I mean, do you help people? Are you a coach? Tell us something about that professional angle as well.
Okay, so yes, I'm a mental health practitioner, a hypnotherapist, psychotherapist, and counselor. And I do indulge or dabble in a lot of energy healing modalities like Reiki, Magnified, and angel therapy as well. And those are the non-cognitive aspects of healing, alternate healing modalities. The cognitive aspects of healing and therapy are the ones I mentioned earlier. So yes, I again blend the esoteric with the cognitive and help my clients evolve from a mental state which might be bothering them, which might be troubling them in their life, and help them recognize themselves and evolve into a better person. Get over the obstacles of the mental chatter that usually happens in our mind all the time. Mental chatter is okay, it's good, but you need to understand how to channelize it. And that's what I help people do.
Very nice, very nice, and yeah,
It
yeah.
happens through one to one counseling as well. I
Mm-hmm.
do personal sessions, I do online sessions as well, and I
Mm-hmm.
do group sessions. My
Mm-hmm.
meditation sessions are very, very much liked by the community in which I do the meditative work. So,
Right.
yeah,
And
that's
you're based in Mumbai.
yes.
And you're based in Mumbai. Yeah. Right. Right. There's a question from Emma Jakey. It says, Juthika, do you think that women should be equal to men? Claim means standardization of women. Isn't it denigrating for women? So basic question is women should be equal to men. Do you think they should be equal to men?
See, there are two aspects to this. Okay, the feminist movement has been asking for equality in terms of opportunities, in terms of respect, in terms of pay scale, and so on and so forth. Okay, in that aspect, yes, we need equality, but there has to be equality on those terms. The other aspect about equality is, like I mentioned earlier, men and women are unique. You cannot compare an orange to an apple. Okay, both have a unique taste, and if you eat an apple you'll get a particular taste, you eat an orange you get a particular taste. How can you even compare the two? Comparison happens between one apple and the other. Okay, this apple is not too red, this apple is a little greenish, this apple is ripe, this apple is not. But how do you compare an orange and an apple? You can't. There's a uniqueness in that. And
That is
everybody, I mean, the men and women are unique in their own way. And the blending of the two is what creates life, creates beauty, and makes the whole world really, really like livable.
beautiful. Juthika, a lot of people congratulating you. I will take some names here. Kiran, I'm sure you know some of them, maybe most of them, and maybe you want to kind of acknowledge their presence here right now. Kiran, Ahmed, of course, Varsha,
Thank you.
yeah, Varsha Pudwani is there. Renuka, we would
Harsha.
like to hear a bit about Renuka. She's been really active in this session. Who is she? I mean, how? Do you want to talk a little bit about Renuka?
Renuka is an academician, I said. She is a scholastic person, and she teaches students. She has a lot of experience in coaching students and helping them grow in their respective fields. So that's Renuka. And being a person of a literature background, of an academic background, she really appreciates anybody, including me, who does something for the better of others, teaching them something, helping them with something. And she's a very, very beautiful soul. She has been holding my hand after, I mean, like the book was live on Amazon, and she has been helping me understand that, like, yes, this is a unique thing that I have embarked upon, and it cannot be, like, put out there put out there lightly. Earlier, I was planning a launch, a physical launch for the book, and there were a lot of parameters that were coming into play. A lot of glamour and a lot of hoo ha and this and that and all. And I was like, that is not what it's about. That is not what the book is about. That is not me. That is not how I want to, that is not the image or the impression I want to put out there. And Renuka told me, like, yes, Jyotika, you're right. Right. That yes, I need I need to change my approach, make it more like, me, and make it out there so that people can see it in the right light. So,
Indeed, indeed. We came to know that you were planning a physical book launch, but we hope that we did justice to the virtual edition of the same.
totally. I couldn't have asked for a better launch.
Right, beautiful, beautiful. Juthika, it has been such an amazing interacting with you. This interaction with you, and there you go. Bit of an issue, but we won't let that hamper the discussion. Juthika, this has been an absolutely amazing experience talking to you about the book, about the journey. मन
Thank
तो नहीं करता कि end करें 1% भी with somebody like you live. मन करता है we go on and on and on. We keep on asking questions, keep on understanding as a man, keep on understanding women better. Yeah, but of course, with keeping time in mind, I really want to thank you for writing this book, for choosing to be a part of this book launch, giving us your time, and really encouraging people out there to understand women better, and and go deep into this empowerment thing. And of course, not just from a women perspective, you also touched upon the men aspect of it, which is amazing. What do you want to say? Any last words that you want to convey to all the people who are watching us live, to everybody who will watch this recording later, and would want to hear from you on the book, on the journey from the author Juthika?
Well, what can I say? I have been through ups and downs in my own life, but I always come back to something which I totally believe in, and I would like to share it with everybody. Remember, life is beautiful, and you can be beautiful inside out if you decide to do that. Nobody else can do it for you. Nobody else can decide that for you. You have to go within your own self to discover that beauty and bring it out and share it with the world. So, yes, life is beautiful. Never forget.
Indeed, life is indeed beautiful. There are different aspects to life. दिन है तो रात भी है, और रात है तो दिन भी है. अच्छाई है तो बुराई भी है, और बुराई है तो अच्छाई भी है. It's also very important that we look at the positives of life and keep on fighting, isn't it?
Yes.
Once somebody said to me, life is a fight for survival. You got to fight on a daily basis. And I guess this is true for every single one of us. Yes, Juthika. Yeah, isn't it? I mean, we got to fight no matter who we are.
I learned from my daughters.
Yeah.
We need not fight everything.
And hence, I find a lot of husbands fighting with their wives and wives fighting with their husbands. They took the quote little too literally. Well, that was not the original meaning of it. The original meaning is fight for your for everything that you want to stand for, isn't it? And just keep on doing, contribute in any and every way that you can. You contributed in your unique way of writing all of this in a book and giving it to the world. It's there now, will be there now forever. आप है, मैं हूं, but this book will stay there forever, Juthika.
And many more to come.
Many more.
and many more to come. That Ridhima, keeping an eye on you now. She wants more books from you, and why not? Somebody who is as gifted as you, Juthika.
Thank you. Thank
Somebody, yeah,
you for that.
somebody who's as gifted as you. Somebody who can feel the depth of things like you do, and somebody who expresses things with the power of her pen and writing the way you do is absolutely incredible. And we all of us who are right now, me, Ridhima, talking to you, everybody who's listening to you, are looking at you because after reading this book, you'll आप हमारी प्यास और इस बुक को और बढ़ाने वाले हैं. और इसके बाद we'll be keeping an eye on you to see more books coming from you and lot more. Yeah, as Renuka says, ye dil mange more. So this is not the end of this book, but rather the beginning of another that you are already planning to write, I'm sure. And please do that. We would love to come again in one more session, many more sessions just like this. Yes, Ridhima?
Totally.
Wasn't it an amazing?
Thank you for
I
all
am-
the support.
Yeah,
Thank you for
the one thing that stood out for me in the session was the pedicure thing, which helped me personally. It helped me personally, and I'm going to keep that in the mind every time there is a takeaway. That was indeed for me. Now, Happiness Happening, I don't know what's the name, says knowing Juthika since 1988. She now has accomplished a lot in life. Wow. I don't know the name, but it says happiness, whoever you are. I'm sure you are lucky to have known
There's happiness.
Juthika. Yeah, there's happiness is the name, is what we are able to see. Yeah. Because Biswas, the title of the book, Juthika, once again, we would like you to show the book to everybody. And as we invite them to grab a copy on Amazon. And the big news, everybody, when we are talking about this book recently hit the #1 spot in its category on Amazon. So what that means is the book and the author herself is now an official Amazon #1 bestseller. Ridhima, we want to give her a round of applause.
So much.
Beautiful.
This happened.
Many more milestones to achieve, Juthika. Thank you so very much. On behalf of the entire Adhan Books team and everybody who was present here, we want to thank you for choosing to be a part of this session. And once again,
is one of the. I started working immediately after my graduation, and the first job that I was in, Mr. Macario Fernandez. He was one of the bosses in that office, and
there
yes, now he lives in Canada.
Dr. Macario Fernandez.
Professor Macario Fernandez, and he himself is a writer of many books. So, yeah, thank you, Mac. Thank you for that. Thank you for your lovely comment. You'll have frozen. I'm here alone. Okay, it's done. Finish. You'll went away.
So I guess there was some connection
There
error.
was a bit of a network issue. हो जाता है, but
Do this to me. I'm very tech challenged.
right. So Ridhima, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Juthika, thank you so much. Ridhima, what do you want to say? How was your experience of working with her?
I think amazing. She was always, very jolly natured, and she always understood everything. And she was always eager to learn, eager to just a very nice person. It was amazing working with her, and looking forward for many more books from her.
Thank you, Redhiva. Thank you for always being there for me. And
Thank
yes,
you very much, Juthika.
in as well, all of y'all, Ganga and I'm bad at names. I'm sorry, but yes, team.
The AB team is what you can say. AB team.
Definitely.
I call it Team Adhyayan.
Team Adhyan. ये ज़्यादा better है. So thank you very much, Team Adhyan. Thank you very much, Ridhima. Thank you, Juthika, and thank you everybody for choosing to be a part of this session. I want to invite all of you to grab a copy of the book, read it. Very it's a fantastic, a very well written book. Encouraging all of you to grab your copies of this Amazon bestseller. Thank you both. Take care. All the best.
Thank you
Bye
so
now.
Thank you. Thank you.